Hello guys, welcome back to the RamboNime channel. In this video, I will discuss the Rising of the Shield Hero anime. This video is a continuation of the previous video. So those of you who haven't watched the Rising of the Shield Hero discussion video before, you can watch the video first. As usual, what I will discuss in this video is to add information that is lacking in the Rising of the Shield Hero anime, of course with the light novel source. In this video I will cover episode 6 and episode 7. Before we start, I want to remind you again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you can be notified when this channel updates the latest videos. Here I will discuss the story based on the light novel, because there have been many changes. Although the point remains the same, but I will still discuss the differences. So in the novel, Naofumi is banging on the weapon shop he usually goes to. At night Naofumi banging on the shop, even though it was closed, but in the end the shop owner opened the door for Naofumi. Unlike in the anime, Naofumi came with relaxed. After chatting at the weapon shop, Naofumi left the shop. Philo here is really like a naughty child, she keeps denying Naofumi's orders. Sometimes she also likes to irritate Naofumi with her behavior, and Philo always wants to sleep beside Naofumi. At first Naofumi refused, but Philo was fussy so Naofumi had to agree. While sleeping, Philo turns into a bird and uses Naofumi as her bolster. Naofumi felt uncomfortable, but Philo never wanted to obey Naofumi's orders, because she continued to disobey Naofumi's orders. Naofumi immediately came to the slave shop to ask why the slave seal didn't work for Philo. The slave trader said it was only natural that her slave seal was useless, because Philo's seal was a weak seal, while Philo needed a stronger seal. And to make a strong seal, the price paid was quite expensive, which was 200 silver coins. To make that seal, it took a lot of people. So 12 people in robes surround Philo and pour potion water on the floor, then they start chanting. Philo here really rebelled. Fortunately the 12 people were strong enough to withstand Philo's strength. Finally the seal was successfully placed on Philo's chest. Philo was in pain, and Naofumi told Philo, if she didn't obey, she would continue to be in pain, but Philo still didn't. Even though she was in pain but she was still nagging, Naofumi finally said to Philo, if she still doesn't obey, Naofumi will sell Philo. And finally Philo became an obedient child. Oh yeah! If Philo were to be sold, the price would now be up to 30 gold, but Naofumi wasn't that cruel to sell Philo. As long as Philo is a good girl, Naofumi will also take good care of Philo. Unlike in the anime, Naofumi visits the clothes shop first and then the magic shop. In the novel, Naofumi goes to the magic shop first. In the anime, the owner of the magic shop said that the machine for making magic threads was broken, but in the novel, the machine was still not broken and Philo immediately used the machine. It turns out that Philo used it carelessly and finally the gem on the machine was destroyed. So in the novel, the cause of the machine being damaged was because it was used by Philo. And they ended up looking for the gem in a cave. When they entered the cave, they saw footprints. In the novel, Philo sniffed the footprints, and instead she was drooling with hunger. After fighting the bat, Naofumi got a new shield, namely Voice Gengar in the form of a bat, not yet at the expert stage but if used, it can add soundwave defense to a small level. And there is an additional skill, namely Megaphone. In the novel, it's not just bat monsters that are being fought, but there are also rat monsters. And this is where Naofumi first uses a Voice Gengar shield in the form of a bat. Unlike in the anime, the first time Naofumi used the Voice Gengar shield was when fighting the new monster. After the mouse monster loses, Naofumi absorbs the mouse monster and gets a new shield, namely Voice Gengar in the form of a mouse. All statuses are the same as the previous shield in the form of a bat, But the difference is that if you use this voice in the form of a mouse, it can add blinding endurance to a small degree. In this scene, in the anime, Naofumi orders Philo to use the megaphone skill of Naofumi's voice Gengar's shield, but in the novel, it is Philo who has the initiative. So Philo asked Naofumi to use the shield voice Gengar previously used against the rat monster, and Philo shouted using the megaphone skill. After Nu was killed, Philo immediately ate Nu's flesh, but was immediately scolded by Naofumi. After getting the gems, they go home and continue to make magic threads. After the magic thread is finished, Naofumi goes to the clothes shop, and turns out to have to wait one day. While waiting, Naofumi invites the owner of the weapon shop to cook berbec. With Naofumi's cooking skills, of course the food tastes very good. And the next day Philo's clothes are ready, and they continue their adventure. After Naofumi healed an old woman, Naofumi continued to increase his medicine sales. But Naofumi didn't forget about leveling either, and he got some new shields. You can see in the video what shields have Naofumi got. In this scene, when Naofumi is confronted by bandits, in the novel, Naofumi and the others' battles are not as short as in the anime. So in the novel, there really is a battle. Naofumi even uses several shields, one of which is the Chimera Viper shield, so whoever attacks Naofumi, they will be poisoned by the shield. In the novel, these bandits are really a bother. Especially when the bandits summon their hired guards. Even Raphtalia has a hard time fighting the guards, but because Raphtalia can now use magic, she can win against the bandit guards. You can read the battle against the bandits in full in Volume 2 Chapter 12. In this scene, in the novel, Naofumi's purpose in going to the cave is to get ores, not magic crystals for magic threads. Because the problem with Philo's clothes in the novel is now over, it's different from the anime. Naofumi mines by himself, and he gets a lot of ore easily because of his mining shield. With the newly acquired abilities from the accessories dealer, Naofumi tries to make some accessories, and he also gets some new shields too. You can see the list of Naofumi's shields in the video. In this scene, in the novel, before Naofumi fought the plant monster, Naofumi used the magic he had just learned, namely Fast Guard. So Naofumi issued Fast Guard to Raphtalia and Philo. This Fast Guard magic functioned to increase one's defense. If Naofumi used that magic on himself, of course Naofumi's defense would become even stronger. After finishing fighting the plant monsters, Naofumi gets a new shield. You can see the list of Naofumi's shields in the video. Okay, now I want to explain this scene. Here Naofumi gets a new shield, the Bioplant shield. If the shield is used, Naofumi can manipulate plants. In the anime, this skill has been explained. But the explanation is not as complete as in the novel. Oh yeah, by using the Mandragora shield, Naofumi can see the plant stats. Before experimenting with the Bioplant shield, Naofumi first used the Mandragora shield to see the plant statistics. You can see the statistics in the video. These are the initial stats, so the plants haven't been manipulated by Naofumi yet, because Naofumi still doesn't know how to effectively manipulate plants. So Naofumi uses his Bioplant shield and changes its stats to something like this. to use his Mandragora shield and performs plant analysis while sleeping, and it turns out that when he wakes up in the morning, his Mandragora shield has already reached the expert stage. You can see it in the anime. After that, Naofumi conducted another experiment and analyzed the plants. You can see its plant statistics. Naofumi changed its stats to something like this. Okay, I'll explain everything. The purpose of the propagation statistic is about how fast the plant spreads, because the previous propagation statistic was too high, so Naofumi changed its propagation, which was originally 9, changed to 4. Then there are production statistics. Those statistics determine how much the plant bears fruit. To prevent the village from starving again, Naofumi increased its production stats, which was originally only 9, changed to 15. There was also the vitality stat. It was a statistic that determined the ability of plants to grow on any soil. For these stats, Naofumi changed its stats, which was originally 9, changed to 6. Then there's the immunity stat. Those stats are what determine how strong the plants against various diseases. For these stats, Naofumi didn't change its stats, so it's still the same, which is 4. Then there are intelligence statistics. These statistics are what determine how intelligent plants are. For these stats, Naofumi also didn't change its stats, so it's still 1. Next is the growth statistic. This statistic is what determines how fast the plant grows after being planted. Of course, Naofumi drastically changed its stats, from the initial 9 to 15, so that its crops could be harvested quickly after being planted. Then there are also mutation statistics. These statistics are what determine plants turn into monsters. Naofumi changed this statistic, from the original 9, changed to 1. So that the occurrence of plants turning into monsters doesn't happen again. That's why Naofumi doesn't want the mutation statistics to be too big. And lastly, because its plant seeds have special abilities, Naofumi also changes its abilities, from what had previously expanded the range of mutations, changed to quality improvements. And finally Naofumi managed to turn the seeds that were once dangerous into seeds that were safe for the citizens. If you still don't understand, you can read the explanation in the video. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. See you again in the next videos. Thank you.